Hey everybody, it's me, Undead Viking, here with another video review. The game I'm reviewing today is a Kickstarter game, so I don't really have a box to show you, but the name of the game is Monster Chef. And the idea behind the game is that each person is a monster, and they are working diligently in a large kitchen, trying to make disgusting recipes that use, and this is all, as always, I'm showing you a prototype, so please, this is not necessarily the final artwork or how the game's going to look, but it has disgusting things like centipedes in the recipes, or rotten bananas, or frogs, or even, if you will, a ripped off head of a teddy bear. But anyway, so you make these recipes and you're serving them to people. And so not only do you have to try to collect the right ingredients to make the recipes that you have, but you also have to use the ingredients that you have and throw them into your opponent's dishes that they're making when they're not watching, technically, and ruin what they're making so they can't put their recipes together to serve to the people that are going to be eating your delicacies. And if you can get your dishes out to the people, you start feeding the people at the two different tables that are in your restaurant. And as soon as you fed everybody, then you count up basically who got the most food served, and also there's a way you can earn bonus points depending on what kind of monster you are, and then you just figure out total of points, and then that's how you determine who the winner is. It's not a really complex game. It's actually fairly simple. I sprang this on my family, and that's when the designer actually contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested in doing a preview video of it. I knew exactly this is something my daughter would love. We actually play a kind of a weird game where we try to make up, and this is probably not the greatest parenting moment in the world, but I try to come up with a disgusting recipe, if you will. Like I say, I'm going to feed her worm brain salad or something, and then she comes back and tells me something disgusting that she's going to feed me, and we kind of go back and forth, and it's just, and so because of that, I knew that my daughter would like the idea of making frog and centipede stew with a rotten banana thrown in. So I knew that there was going to be an element of great acceptance, if you will, among my family. And sure enough, my daughter and I and my wife have enjoyed it greatly, and we've played it several times. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to play the game, where I'm going to come back here like I always do, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I really liked about the game, as far as, beyond just the fact that my daughter had a blast playing it and I was able to enjoy some family fun time, but I mean, just actually like the gamer-centric, I guess, reasons why I enjoyed the game. And then hopefully somewhere along the line while you're watching this video, you'll figure out if this is something you want to add to your collection, so you and your family and your friends can enjoy it the way that we have. So, alright, well there you go. Monster Chef, how to play. Let's do it. What you see in front of you is my print and play copy of Monster Chef. As you can even see, some of the artwork actually says draft on it. So, as I said in the introduction, this is a prototype, so the look of the game is definitely going to change when the final edition is published. So I'm just going to quickly kind of go over the basic rules of the game and how you play, and show you what the different components are. These are the Monster Rage cards. These are special abilities that you get to use once per game. When you use them on your turn, you place your token on them to show that you've used that particular Monster Rage ability, and you can't use it again for the rest of the game. Which is actually kind of it's one of those cool things where it's like, do I use it now because of the situation I'm in now, or will it be more useful to me later? Things like that. And I'll explain those in just a little bit. These are the two tables of the people out in the restaurant waiting for their food. There's all these people. You can see they have stars next to them. The stars next to them tell you how many points they're going to be worth. at the end of the game. So obviously the more stars, the better. Some of the plates over here, like this plate has 2 dishes on it, meaning once there's 2 plates of food on that particular, because there's 2 people, you get to divvy up the dishes. And these are 3 because there's 3 people on each of those to feed. Over here we have the different recipes, and another deck of recipes as well. What the players are going to be doing is they're going to be taking a recipe and they'll be replacing it with one on the draw pile, and then they place it in front of them. And they're trying to use some of their own recipes that they have, and then to be able to cover up, be able to place the needed ingredients on it, and then you place it into the middle, into the kitchen area. And once the item is in the kitchen area, as long as nobody else sabotages your delicacy that you've just made by using rotten ingredients on them, then you get to then serve it on your next turn. You get to go ahead and place it over on the table. And so what happens is that there are other people who have recipes in here as well, and so you can see that. And then sometimes if you're able to match up your ingredients with the ones that are on the recipe, you're able to add, like, kind of piggyback on top of somebody else's recipe. So, like, you're able to put, like, another dish on there, and then so when it gets served, it actually goes over here, and then you actually get to piggyback on top of somebody else's actions and be able to then serve people. So it isn't just you putting dishes on there. You're actually hoping to, even if you can, use somebody else's recipe to help you score points, which is a kind of a cool little portion of the game. These are the ingredient buckets, and as you can see, some of the ingredients, as you can see the cards with the blanks and behind it, some of the ingredient buckets have are invisible to you. You don't know, and some of them have a number, like you can see one of the ingredients, like this is the rotten teddy bear head, the frog, and the rotten carrot. And so you know something you have. So if you have a recipe that you know that needs something, maybe you want to take that. You'll notice this one doesn't have any ingredients, so you can't see anything. And there's only 2, whereas this has 4, 3, and 3. This is for a 4-player game. There's less ingredients for a lesser number of players, but for a 4-player game. But you'll notice the first player token is on here. So if you actually take the one with the 2 random ingredients that you have no idea what it is, you get to take the first player token, and then you get to go first next round, which is very important because if you have a recipe, say out here in the kitchen, and you want to make sure that you get to serve it to one of the people that are sitting at the table, you might want to take this, taking 2 crummy ingredients that you might not be able to use, so you can then take your turn, and then you can get your food delivered out there without preventing somebody else from ruining your dish before it's your turn, being able to place it out. So, also, you get handed at the beginning of the game a Monster Chef, and I just grabbed a couple of these just so you can see. And then you get bonus points at the end of the game if you succeed in doing a certain thing. Like this guy is the evil chef, and if he destroys somebody else's recipe during the game, he'll earn us 2 extra points. This person is the fast chef. And so, like, as I mentioned, like, it's an octopus, so it's serving really fast. If you have the most recipes, so to say, of anybody else, that you've served more dishes than anybody else, you get your bonus points. This is the ambitious chef. And so, like, if the ambitious chef is able to serve to a 3-star customer, they earn their bonus points. And there's more monster chefs, and you can check those out at the website for the game, and also like the videos that the designer has, and you can check what those are. So the turn kind of just follows a very, very structured path, as most games do. If you don't have a recipe in front of you, you choose a recipe. So you could, like, say, you can look at, this one only has like 2 on there, so it might be pretty easy to make, especially since you know that bear is out there, and so maybe if you have the ingredients, you'll be able to get that and put it in the middle. So you choose an ingredient basket, so let's just choose this one, see what we get. So you choose that, and you turn it over, and you see what you get. And so in this case, we got the rotten bear head, and there's a banana. And so we have a frog and another rotten bear head. That's not bad. So you keep these secret, you don't let anybody see what you have. And there isn't a recipe in the middle of the kitchen yet, so that we can't pony into one of the recipes that's in the middle at this time. So we can't do that. And also, there's nothing in there for us to ruin. If somebody else had something in there to ruin, we could use some of our ingredients to throw into the pot and ruin their dish, and then they'd have to remove that from the middle. So we don't have any ready recipes in the middle. We haven't got anything prepared and put in the middle, so we can't serve anything to the people yet. And so now, but we can use ingredients on the recipe that we have in preparation. So as long as we can match one of the things, we can do that. So we can match that, and so we can match that ingredient with that ingredient. And so we show that by just putting a little marker on there, like so. And if you are able to match straight up, then you can go ahead, and if you have the exact ingredient, you can do the exact ingredient again. So we have a banana. There's a rotten banana in there. And so we can do that and place it in there. And now we can move that into the middle. So we move it in the middle, but we only put one serving token on it, like so. And so we know that that is the middle. Now, hopefully what will happen is that we'll get done with our turn. And we should say that after we move the recipe into the kitchen area, we can, at any time, like this is when you can, any time during the turn, you can use the Monster Rage cards. And I'll explain those in just a second. But after that, you have to discard all of your ingredients that you have left. You just put those in the discard pile. So the ingredients, when we set up our new ingredient baskets, all of those will be available again. And now we kind of have to wait. And hopefully it gets all the way around in our next turn. If we have a dish out there that we've made, and we get to our next turn, and we go through the whole process again. I should have put a recipe down there for the next person, but we then hopefully at stage, I believe it is 4 of our turn, after we've either ruined somebody's recipe or piggybacked on somebody's recipe in there, we then can take this and we get to place it on a spot on the board. And so like we go ahead and like maybe place it there, and we wait until maybe some other, and there's 3 there. And so, but as soon as there are enough dishes to feed everybody on the table, then you divvy up in turn order. You get to divvy those up to the people. And the game ends when all of the people have been fed their dinner. And then that's when you total up the points. I mentioned the Monster Rage cards, and the Monster Rage cards are just like a lot of other games with those special abilities. It's just a way to kind of break the rules at opportune moments, so you can do that. So like this is the way to cook bonus. You can add a second serving token to your recipe in the kitchen area, as if you had 2 ingredients. So like you could use that as a one-time thing. If you didn't have the 2 perfect ingredients to add a serving token, you could do that. This one is kind of I mean, if you haven't got it, neither have you bonus. You can remove a token on an ingredient of an opposing recipe they're preparing. So like if it's in the preparation area, you can remove a token for that, and then you can't use that in the middle. But you can basically ruin somebody else as they're building up their preparation. You could use that to ruin that and set them back a little bit. And then these other 3, they're kind of looking alike. What they do is they allow you, like, one of them allows you to choose this one allows you to choose the 4 ingredient basket and also take the first player card. So you can, take the first player token, and even if you don't take the 2-player one, which is nice. And this one allows you to choose the 3 ingredient basket without doing that. And then this one, the I'm a Star, does, you can use one of the ingredients in your hand as a perfect ingredient for anyone that you're missing. So if you don't have a card but you just want to be able to like basically kind of change it into what you want, then you can use that as well. And as I said, once you do use those, you place a token on them, and then you can't use that again for the rest of the game. So you have to make sure you time those well and make it the right time. But that's pretty basically how the game goes. I mean, you process the recipes, you throw them in the kitchen. Hopefully nobody messes with them by discarding ingredients onto them to basically destroy them. And hopefully you get them over and feed the people. And once you've fed all the people, total up your points, and then you figure out who is the best monster chef. So, alright, well, there you go. That's how you play Monster Chef. And obviously, like I said in my introduction, I've enjoyed playing this with my family, but let me go a little more in depth into that and tell you what I think about the gameplay and like the enjoyment that I've gotten out of it. I always feel a little what's what I'm looking for here, empty when I don't have something to throw around or something to play with at this point. So while I really enjoy doing these preview videos because I like seeing these games get published and I like seeing designers get their, you know, dream projects put together and put out, you know, for sale through Kickstarter, or in this case Indiegogo. I always had, but I don't have something to play with, and that's my thing, I guess. So, I mean, I can't really play with paper cards. It just doesn't work that well. Anyway, so there you go. That's a real basic overview of how to play. I mean, there's more to it a little bit. You can definitely check out the designer's website, his Facebook page, also the Indiegogo campaign, and he's got several YouTube videos of his own that you can check out. And if you have any questions, obviously, you can ask them, and I'll answer those, or he will as well. But, you know, like I said, it's a very whimsical game, and so and my daughter giggled incessantly when she was playing and putting together the disgusting components. And she really enjoyed, you know, the different monster chefs as well. I mean, just like these cartoon creatures, and the idea that, like, you know, it's like she was, you know, really taken with the idea of actually being the squid. She liked the idea, because I think she talked many times over about how she liked the idea, like, I can make lots of things because I can grab everything with my tentacles, and I can be making lots of dishes at the same time. And so, you know, it kind of tapped into that childhood glee that always makes the game fun for me, because if I'm watching my daughter enjoy herself, and I'm, you know, and while I'm watching her grow into be her own person, I can't help but feel a little bit of happiness knowing that I'm kind of turning her into a little tiny nerd, if you will. And I can only hope that she enjoys these things as long as I do. So, which technically I think has been forever for me. But anyway, but I mean, as far as, like, if you're a gamer and you're wondering, okay, well, that's all well and good, is the game fun anyway? Well, yeah, it is, because it's very light. It doesn't take a long time to play. And there's several, like, it's just kind of a push your luck thing as far as, like, when you're choosing the ingredient pile. Definitely, like, if you want to be the first player, you know, taking those two right away, taking the two mystery ingredients, if you will. And it's the whole process of, like, trying to, you know, you get a random assortment, or a fairly random assortment of ingredients that, you know, then you have to take those and you have to figure out a way to make them work for you. And it's kind of a neat process of either putting some things together for yourself, or using them to destroy somebody else's plans. And, you know, and I enjoy like these competitive seesaw battle type games. And it isn't super in depth, so it's something that I can approach my family with. And also it's a situation where you know, it has enough like grit to it, or enough to keep me interested. It's the perfect type of family game in that regard, because there's tons of family games out there that, like, you know, the mass market ones that we all know about, that not necessarily are bad games. I mean, I've definitely played my share of Candyland with my daughter, but, you know, I like the fact that I have these other options that she enjoys as well, and I'm able to present those to her. And you know, she can then enjoy herself and enjoy the colors and the matching and everything like that. But also then it's something that I'm not going to be wanting to, like, drill a hole in my head because I'm just waiting for somebody to get that purple card so we can finally finish the dang Candyland game, and we can throw it away and we can move on to something else. So so there you go. You know, like I said, if you have any questions or concerns, by all means, post those. I'll try to answer those to the best of my ability, and I'm sure the designer will be more than happy to do so as well. And as always, I greatly appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and until next time, this was Undead Viking, and you have an awesome day. Bye-bye now.